Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to see class 10 chapter 1, that is real numbers. Okay, so what is a real number? Real number is a value that can be represented on a number line. Any values that can be represented on a number line are called real numbers. For example, this is a number line here. So 0, and to the right it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until infinity. To the left side it will be like -1, -2, -3, -4 until infinity. So all these values which can be represented on a number line are known as real numbers. So for example, 0 is a real number, 1, -3, and even 3.5 is a real number, because 3.5 we can represent 3.5 between 3 and 4. And another example, -3.2 is a real number. It can be represented between -3 and -4. So any numbers that can be represented on a number line are known as real numbers, and real number is denoted by the symbol R. Clear? So we have learned in the previous year in 9th standard the different categories of numbers. So all these numbers will come under real numbers. So real number include all the numbers such as, okay, first one is natural numbers. I know you all know this very well, but I'm just reminding you all the different number systems and what are included in those. Okay, the first one is natural numbers. Natural numbers means the counting numbers. So it will start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until infinity. That is natural numbers. Okay. Whole numbers. What is a whole number? Whole number will include the number 0 also. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until infinity is whole number. Then next one is rational numbers. Any numbers that can be written in the form p by q is known as a rational number. Okay, and here q should not be equal to 0. Okay, any numbers that can be written in the form p by q. Next one is irrational numbers. So just opposite of these rational numbers. Any numbers that cannot be written in the form of p by q is known as irrational numbers. So the examples like pi, the value of pi, that is 3.14, it goes on, it doesn't stop. So the value of root 2, the value of root 4, those are the examples of irrational numbers. Okay, next comes the integers. What are integers? Integers will include the negative values also. So -3, -2, like from -1, -2, -3 until infinity, 0, and 1, 2, 3 until infinity. So this will come under integers. So all these numbers will come under the category of real numbers. Clear? Okay, we move on to the next topic, that is Euclid's division lemma. What it says, if a and b are two integers, then they must satisfy the following condition. What is the condition? It should be written in the form like a is equal to bq plus r. Okay, where r should be equal to 0 and it should be less than b. So that is what Euclid's division lemma says. It's very simple. I will explain with an example. Okay, so here we are taking two integers that are 21 and 4. Okay, so we are dividing this 21 is a bigger number, so we are dividing 21 with 4. Okay, so what we will get? 5 4s are 20, the remainder is 1. So here what is the divisor? 4 is the divisor. We are dividing 21 with 4. 4 is the divisor, 21 is the dividend. Okay, and 5 is the quotient and 1 is the remainder. So as per Euclid's division lemma, we can write 21 as 21 is equal to 4 into 5 plus 1. 4 into 5, divisor into quotient plus remainder. Okay, and remainder will be always greater than or equal to 0 and less than divisor. It satisfies. So this is what Euclid's division lemma says. We can take another example. See here, like we can check with the integers 20 and 5. So we are dividing 20 by 5. So 4 5s are 20, the remainder is 0. So we can write here 20 is equal to 5 into 4 plus 0. Okay, this is Euclid's division lemma. and we are using this Euclid's division algorithm to find the HCF of different numbers. Okay, I will show you how it is. So for example, if you want to find the HCF of 15, 65 and 75, okay, so we will take the smallest numbers 15 and 65. Okay, so 65 is greater than 15, so we will write 65 divided by 15. Okay, so 4 into 15 is 60. We got remainder as 5. Okay, we have to do this step until we are getting 0 as the remainder. Okay, to find the HCF of two numbers, we have to continue this until we are getting 0 as the remainder. So now we got 5 as the remainder. So what we will do, we will put this divisor again here as a dividend. Okay, so 15 divided by 5. Okay, so 3 into 5 is 15. We got remainder as 0. So until this we have to do, and how we will get the HCF is that the last step, when we are getting the remainder as 0, in that step what is the divisor, that will be the HCF of these two numbers. So here HCF is 5. Okay, so we found that the HCF of 15 and 65 is 5. So the remaining is 5 and 75. So 75 divided by 5, as 75 is the greater number. Okay, 75 divided by 5, so what we'll get, 1 5 is 5, so 7 minus 5 2, 25, 5 5s are 25, we got remainder as 0. So in the first step itself we got the remainder as 0. So what will be the HCF of 5 and 75? That will be 5. So as a whole we got the HCF of numbers 15, 65, 75 is 5. Okay, so moving on to exercise 1.1, which is based on Euclid's division algorithm. Okay, so exercise 1.1, the first question is use Euclid's division algorithm to find the HCF of the following numbers. Okay, the first one is 135 and 225. So which one is the greater number here? 225. So 225 will be the dividend. 225 divided by 135. So 1 into 135 is 135. So the remainder is 90. Okay, so we are not getting remainder as 0, so we have to continue this step. So this 135 divided by 90, so 190 is 90, so the remainder is 45. Again we are not getting remainder as 0, so again we will put this divisor here as dividend. So 90 divided by 45, 2 into 45 is 90. Okay, so we are getting the remainder as 0. So what is the HCF here? The divisor of the last step is the HCF of numbers 135 and 225. So the HCF of 135 and 225 is 45. Also from each step here we can write. So here what we can write, 225 is equal to 135 into 1 plus 90 plus 90. Okay, here remainder 90 is not equal to 0, so we have to continue this step again. 135 divided by 90, so we get 190 45. So here what we can write, 135 is equal to 90 into 1 plus 45, but remainder is not equal to 0. Here what we can write, 90 is equal to 45 into 2 plus 0, so 0 is the remainder here. So the HCF is 45. Okay, then we move on to the next question. What is the next question? Find the HCF of 196 and 38220. So which one is the bigger number? This one. So 38220 divided by 196. So 1 into 196, it's 196. The remainder is 186. 2 will come here. So 9 into 196 is 1764. Okay, so what is the remainder? It is 98. So the 0 will come here. 5 into 196 is 980. So we are getting 0 as the remainder. In the first step itself we are getting 0 as the remainder. So the HCF of these two numbers are 196 itself. So it can be written like 38220 can be written as 196 into 195 plus 0. Okay, so 196 is the HCF here. Okay, now we move on to the next question. HCF of 867 and 255. Okay, so 867 is a bigger number. 867 divided by 255. So 3 into 255, we will get 765. So the remainder is 102. So remainder is not equal to 0. So 867 is equal to 255 into 3 plus 102. As the remainder is not equal to 0, we will continue the division. So this divisor will come here. 255 divided by 102. So 2 into 102 is 204. The remainder is 51. Again the remainder is not equal to 0. So it is 255 is equal to 102 into 2 plus 51. So again we will take this divisor here, 102 divided by 51. So 2 into 51 is 102 and the remainder is 0. So that is 102 is equal to 51 into 2 plus 0. So when we are getting remainder as 0, that divisor will be the HCF of these two numbers. So HCF is 51. Clear? Okay, let's move on to the next question. The question is that show that any positive odd integer is of the form 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5 where q is some integer. Okay, so let's consider a is equal to any a will be a, let's consider a as any positive integer. Okay, and b is equal to 6. As per Euclid's algorithm, we already know that it can be a, if a and b are any positive integers, it can be written in the form a is equal to bq plus r. Okay, so here we can write a is equal to 6q plus r. Okay, and also the value of r should be greater than or equal to 0 and it should be less than b. So what are the possible values of r? R can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if r is equal to 0, what is the value of a? A is equal to 6q. If r is equal to 1, what is the value of a? A is equal to 6q plus 1. If r is equal to 2, what is the value of a? A is equal to 6q plus 2. Is equal to 6q plus 2, 6q plus 4, then a is an even number and divisible by 2. In all these cases, a is an even number. A will be an even number and it will be divisible by 2. Okay, so these numbers, a is equal to 6q plus 1, a is equal to 6q plus 3, a is equal to 6q plus 5, all these numbers will be odd numbers where q is some integer. Clear? Okay, now let's move on to question number 3. What is the question? An army contingent of 616 members is to march behind an army band of 32 members in a parade. The two groups are to march in the same number of columns. What is the maximum number of columns in which they can march? Okay, let's go to the solution. What is given in the question? There are 32 members in the band and there are 616 members in the army. And it is given that the two groups have to march in the same number of columns. So we don't know the number of columns. So let these are the number of columns. As we don't know the number, let's consider n as the maximum number of columns. Okay, and also let's consider x be the number of band members in each column. X be the band members in each column, and let's consider y be the army members in each column. So we know the total number of band members here. So how we can write 32 is equal to n means the total number of columns and x is the band members in each column. So we can write 32 is equal to n into x. Similar way we can write 616 is equal to n into y. Okay, so from these two what we can understand, n is the highest common factor in both of these. So in order to find the value of n, what we can do, we can find the HCF between the numbers 32 and 616. So n is the HCF of 660 and 32. So we will find the HCF using the Euclid's algorithm. Okay, 616 divided by 32. So we will get 1 into 32, 32, the remaining 29, the 6 will come here, 296. So 9 into 32 is 288. The remainder is 8. As we get the remainder as 8, we have to continue the division process. So here we can write 616 is equal to 32 into 19 plus remainder. As per Euclid's algorithm, we can write like this. Okay, so since we didn't get the remainder as 0, we will continue the division process. So here we will take this 32 here, 32 divided by 8, 4 8s are 32, remainder is 0. So we finally got remainder as 0. So our HCF is 8. HCF of 32 and 616 is 8. So we got the answer for the question. The maximum number of columns in which they can march is 8. Okay, let's see the next question. Question number 4. What is the question? Use Euclid's division lemma to show the square of any positive integer is either of the form 3m or 3m plus 1 for some integer m. Okay, solution. Let x be any positive integer. X be any positive integer. Okay, we can divide x with 3. Okay, we will get some quotient, so it will be 3q, and we will get some remainder here. Okay, as per Euclid's division algorithm, we can write x is equal to 3q plus r. Okay, and also remainder should be always greater than or equal to 0 and less than divisor. Okay, this is as per Euclid's division algorithm. So here r should be always greater than or equal to 0 and less than 3, which implies what are the values, what can be the values of r? R can be 0, 1, 2. Okay, so we can substitute the value of r for each of these values. So what can be the value of x? X can be 3q if r is equal to 0. X can be 3q plus 1 if r is equal to 1. X can be 3q plus 2 if r is equal to 2. So these are the 3 possible values of x. Okay, since I don't have space down, I am continuing here in the right side. You can continue in the bottom. Okay, so what we can say, in the question it's been asked square of any positive integer is either in the form of 3m or 3m plus 1. So we have to find the square of these values. So x square is equal to 3q square. That means is equal to 9q square, or we can write, this is 3q whole square, we can write 3 into 3q square, we can write in this form. Clear? The next one, x is equal to 3q plus 1. So x square is equal to 3q plus 1 whole square. So what is a plus b whole square? A square plus ab plus b square. So we can write 9q square plus 6q plus 1. Okay, this we can write as 3q square. We can take 3 outside. So we can write 3q square plus 2q plus 1. Clear? So the another value, and the next value is 3q plus 2. So we can write 3q plus 2 whole square is equal to 9q square plus 12q plus 4. This we can write as 3 into 3q square plus 4q plus 1 plus 1. Is it clear? Okay. So now see, any value of q, we will get this 3q square as an integer. So we are considering any integer m. So any integer m. So we are putting any, we don't know what in anything can be the value of q, but any values of q will give an integer value. Same here, any value of q here will give an integer, let it be m. Same here, any value of q will give an integer. So we have proved the square of any positive integer is either in the form of 3m. This is 3m. This is 3m plus 1. This one is also 3m plus 1. The square of any positive integer is either in the form of 3m or 3m plus 1 for some integer m. Clear? Now let's see question number 5. What is the question? Use Euclid's division lemma to show that the cube of any positive integer is of the form 9m or 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. Okay, this is similar as our previous question, but only difference is that here it's asking for the cube of any positive integer. Okay, so we will do this like similar the question just we did before. Okay, let x be any positive integer. Okay, now we are dividing x with 3. We will get some quotient q. So this will be 3q and the remainder r. So what are the so now we can write x is equal to 3q plus r. What are the possible values of r? R should be greater than or equal to 0 and less than 3. So the possible values of r are 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so what will be the value of x in those cases? By substituting the values of r, x can be 3q or x can be 3q plus 1 or x can be 3q plus 2. Okay, now we have to find the cube of these values. First we can do x cube is equal to 3q whole cube, that will be 27q cube. Another value 3q plus 1 whole cube. So what is a plus b whole cube? A cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square. So here it will be a cube means it will be 27q cube plus b cube plus 3a square b. So it will be 27q square plus 3ab square, 3 into 3q plus b square 1. So it will be 9q. Okay, so the next x cube, what is the value? 3q plus 2 whole cube. What is that? 27q cube plus 2 cube is 8 plus this is 54q square plus it will be 36q. Now what we have to do? We have to take 9 common from all these. So here we can write this as 9 into 3q square. Okay, here what we can do is equal to 9 into 27q cube. So it will become 3q cube plus 27q square. So 3q square plus this will become q plus 1. Okay, here also we have to take 9 common, so is equal to 9 into, this will be 3q cube plus 6q square plus 4q plus 8. So any value of q will give an integer here, this 3q square. So let's consider this as an integer m. Even here any value of q will give as an integer m. Any value of q even here will give us an integer m. So this is in the form 9m. This is in the form 9m plus 1. This is in the form 9m plus 8. Hence proved. So the cube of any positive integer, cube of any positive integer is of the form 9m or 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. Fine.